Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Starting with the #1 classic, lentil soup aka mercimek çorbası. This soup is by far my favorite Turkish soup. Start by chopping an onion, add olive oil to a pot, add the onions, salt, and start sauteing the onions. Then chop your carrots, peel and chop your potatoes, and add your washed red lentils. Add pepper and salt and saute your veggies. Then add some broth powder to some hot water, add the broth to the pot, and then add more water. Now in a separate pot, add olive oil, butter or ghee, and some dried mint. I'm also adding some pul biber, which I bought in Turkey. Once the veggies are cooked and soft, mix the soup until it's smooth. It's so silky and so smooth. And this part is optional, but I chopped some parsley for the garnish. Then I'm also adding a little bit of lemon to brighten the soup. So if you're looking for some soup inspiration, Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. The second soup we're trying out is Ezogelin çorbası, and that translates to the soup of the Ezo bride. First, chop and saute your onion. Once that's done, take it out, and to the same pot, add some olive oil, add flour and tomato paste, and red pepper paste. Add more olive oil until you get this mixture, add your spices, and keep mixing. Then add some water until it turns into this paste. Now add your red lentils, your rice, and your fine bulgur, and then add the rest of your water and your onion, and let it come to a boil before you let it simmer on a medium heat. To a little saucepan, add some olive oil, some butter, I'm using ghee, some dried mint, and bring the heat up, and then add a tablespoon of tomato paste and start mixing. Add some water to thin it out a bit. Once the lentils, rice, and bulgur have been cooked, it's time to add the sauce we just made. I'm leaving a little bit on the side to decorate the soup. And then it's time to plate up. I'm using this super cute mini coquettes, and this soup is just so delicious. So if you're looking for some soup inspiration, Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making a roasted tomato soup. Roughly chop 4 tomatoes, 1 bell pepper, 1 onion and garlic, and add them to an oven dish. Add olive oil, season it with some salt, some herbs, and then let it roast in the oven. While that's roasting, add olive oil to a pot, add some butter or ghee, add flour until it turns into a paste, and then add a tablespoon of tomato paste. I'm also adding 2 bay leaves and a bit of water and mix. Then push out the garlic. I actually always wanted to try doing this, but I don't know why it failed when I did it. Then add your roasted veggies to a blender, add some coconut milk and dried mint. After blending, strain it out so that the soup becomes super smooth. Top it with some coconut milk, olive oil, and basil. If you need more soup inspiration, Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making lahana çorbası aka cabbage soup. We're starting off by chopping 1 red onion and add it to a pot with salt and black pepper. While that's sauteing, we're chopping our cabbage. The carrot is not native to the recipe, but I'm also cutting 1 carrot into julienne strips. Once the onions get a little soft, I'm adding the cabbage and the carrots. Then I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, and I should have added this to the onions before, but I forgot, so I added it here and mixed it a bit before adding water. I'm also adding some vegetable broth powder and then let it simmer on a medium heat until everything becomes soft, but not too soft. And then it's time to enjoy this cabbage soup. Honestly, I love cabbage, but never thought of using it in a soup before, but now I'm obsessed. Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making the very much requested yoğurt çorbası. To a pot, add bulgur and a handful of green lentils. Add some water, let it come to a boil until they become soft. While that is cooking, it's time to prepare the yogurt. To a pot, add about 2 cups of yogurt, 1 big tablespoon of flour, 1 egg, and then mix until smooth. So the lentils and bulgur are now cooked, so we add more water, let it cook a bit more on a medium heat, and then add some of that warm water to the yogurt and mix thoroughly. Do this a few times until the yogurt mixture becomes lukewarm, and then add it to the pot and keep stirring. Then for the extra sauce, add olive oil to a little saucepan and dried mint. Then add it to the soup, mix it in, and you're done. I cannot tell you how delicious this soup tasted. I made a big batch of soup so I could freeze 3 more portions to eat later. And let me tell you, I only have 1 left. Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making yüksük çorba. Yüksük means thimble, and there's a saying that the manta has to be so small that 40 little dumplings could fit onto 1 spoon. To a pot, add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil and a big tablespoon of butter and melt it over a medium heat. Then add a tablespoon of tomato paste and saute until fragrant. Add a large teaspoon of dried mint and saute again. Then add about 1 liter of boiling water and bring everything to a boil. Once boiling, add cooked chickpeas and let them simmer for a couple of minutes. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I may have cheated a little because my aunt actually gave me frozen manta. So add about a cup to the soup and let it cook for 10 to 15 minutes or until the manta reaches the softness you want. And once that is cooked, your yüksük çorba is ready to serve. Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making tel sehriye çorbası, which is a Turkish vermicelli soup. To a pot, add some oil and a large tablespoon of tomato paste. Sauté until fragrant. Then add a teaspoon of dried mint and sauté again. Add 1.5 liters of boiling water, let it come to a boil, and then let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Add about 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and if you want to, you can also add 1.5 teaspoon of stock powder. Then add your vermicelli and mix. Let it simmer over a medium heat for 10 minutes or until it becomes soft. My mom was craving this soup while fasting, and the scent filled our entire kitchen, but we still had a few hours left before we could break our fast. Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making lebeniye çorbası, which is a yogurt soup with meatballs, chickpeas, and rice. Start by chopping an onion and add it to a bowl with about 250 grams of ground meat. Then add salt, black pepper, and mix. Then it's time to form your köfte. You should try to get the köfte as small as possible, but I cut my onions way too big, so that was not gonna happen. Then add some oil to a pan and also add your köfte. Once they're cooked, add dried mint. I added a lot because I love the flavor. And then also add some pul biber. Then to a pot, add washed rice and about 2 cups of water. While that's cooking, you can prepare the yogurt. You need about 1.5 cups of yogurt. Mine was pretty thick, so I added water so it could become a bit more runny. And then also add a spritz of lemon into the yogurt. Then add more boiling water to your pot and the cooked chickpeas. Then take some of the boiling water and add it to your yogurt and mix. Do this a few times until your mixture becomes lukewarm, and then gradually add it to your pot while stirring for a couple of minutes on a medium heat. Then add your salt and you're ready to serve. This soup was so delicious. I'm already craving for more. Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making my most requested soup, Tarhana çorbası. To a pot, add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 large tablespoon of dried mint, and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Add salt, black pepper, pul biber, and then the star of the show, Tarhana powder. Tarhana powder is basically a fermented blend of yogurt or milk, flour, and vegetables. Add 3 tablespoons of the powder and then we're adding water. Now this is not native to the recipe, but I'm also adding some wheat. I have to say I've never tasted a similar soup to this one before. It has a very tangy and slightly fermented taste to it, and I think the best way to describe this soup is comforting. Turkey has over 300 soups and I'm on a mission to try all of them. Today we're making süt çorbası, which is a milk soup with rice. To a pot, pour about half a liter of milk, and in a separate pot add about half a cup or less of washed rice and cover it with water. Warm up both the milk and the rice at the same time, and you want the rice to soften but not fully cook. And once it's ready, add the rice to the milk. And then in a small saucepan, heat some olive oil, butter or ghee, add dried mint. I'm adding a lot because I just love the flavor, and then some Turkish chili flakes to make it a bit more spicy, and add a pinch of salt. Let it sizzle for a bit until fragrant. Now pour this aromatic sauce into your soup, add salt, and you are ready to serve. Honestly, the taste was not exactly what I expected it to be because it was so much sweeter than a typical yogurt soup, but my grandma absolutely loved it, so that's a win.